Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here. I want to go over a common question I have with my patients, and they ask me, when is it safe to vaccinate their children, if they're choosing to do so, and is there a timing issue there, and what should we do with protocol? Do you stop it for a while or change it or something like that? And I want to go through this. Now, it's all based upon, it's one of the first papers by Colm Cunningham, this very famous paper, Microglia Neurodegeneration, the role of systemic inflammation. He's gonna, in this paper, he demonstrates how an inflammatory stimulus like a vaccine can actually affect the brain and how it recovers and how it doesn't recover, and I want to talk about that. So the first case is in a person who has always been balanced in their intestinal bacteria. They've never had SIBO, they've never had leaky gut, and so forth. And in this case, so this is basically a study with mice. So the white mouse is normal, no leaky gut or anything ever, and what he has here is a systemic inflammatory event. They use a product called IC5050. This has a stimulatory effect of the immune system similar to a vaccine. All right. And so here, if you go follow this line along, he's doing fine. They get the vaccine. Now, as this circle dips down, what that is a function score. They're measuring balance, swimming, and if the mouse can remember a food maze. So they can literally see the mouse isn't functioning quite as well. Now, if you look in the mouse's brain microscopically, there's actually a little injury from this surge of inflammation, all right? But so you get a little injury from a vaccine, potentially. Now, but the important point is, now each circle is a week apart. In 1, 2 more circles, fixed. That's what a healthy brain is supposed to do. If you get an injury, short of bleeding in the brain, you're supposed to fix it within a short amount of time. Now they give him another vaccine. Same thing. It dips down, not functioning quite as well, but recovers. Gets another vaccine. Dips down, not functioning quite as well, but back to normal. Okay? So if you've never had SIBO and you don't have active systemic inflammation, that's how you would respond to a vaccine. If it even gave you an injury, okay, you would just recover. And it's really, in scope of things, not much more than a very minor concussion, okay? Now, part 2, you have SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So where you have bacteria that normally live in the colon are now living in the small intestine. They overwhelm the small intestine. They breach the gap. Byproducts, they trigger a lot of inflammation, but importantly, this product, LPS, leaks in the bloodstream. LPS is a normal molecule on the outside of these fish bacteria, or what we call gram-negative rods. It's a descriptive term for a category of bacteria. And when they replicate, they release this LPS. I kind of think of it as like sawdust. When the carpenter's replicating furniture, there's sawdust being produced. But when you have a lot of replication and now the barrier's been breached, that LPS can get into the body, into the bloodstream, can go to the brain, and it will change white blood cells in the brain. Okay? And so that's what Dr. Cunningham did in this next part. Here he is. Disease means what he did is he took that LPS material and he squirts it in the mouse's tummy, and he waits. Here's week 12. So he waits a little while, then he gives him the exact same little vaccine-like stimulus. So that's the black mouse. And look, it worsens the injury. The exact same vaccine now causes more injury, and it prevents complete recovery. Another vaccine, even more injury. It's additive, causing Now, less recovery. And the third one's really bad here, obviously. And what happens is that LPS goes up and it changes a population of white blood cells called microglia, and they become M1 primed microglia. All this means is these are permanently inflammatory. So my belief, and a lot of others, is that autism is from this process and that they all have this. So if this is continuing, the vaccines can certainly make things worse at times. Now, what happens is, though, when the protocol was designed specifically to reverse this and stop the LPS. And the DHA in the fish oil, to another degree, there is some data, the olive oil will do this, that they will take these white blood cells and they will calm them down and they become non-inflammatory. And what happens then is you can turn a human who is a black mouse and make them react like a white mouse. And so when we start the protocol, that's really what we're doing. And the mouse starts, so say you're down here, instead of getting worse, the person starts recovering. Okay? So you can, this is a thing that's modifiable. Okay? Olive oil, the DHA, omega-3, and then sometimes we need in the kids vagus nerve stimulation. We often need it in adults. And so to sum this all up about, I want to give my kid a vaccine, and we're on the protocol, what should I think about? Okay, so child's on the protocol, you wish to vaccinate your child, okay. Do not vaccinate until you're seeing neurological improvements, until you're seeing that the protocol has been sufficient enough to shift the kid from being a black mouse into a white mouse and they're able to repair. Because if they get that little inflammatory-like concussion, okay, it's not a big deal. They'll fix it in a couple days to a week. And at most, when the parents talk to me, they're like, oh yeah, he was just off for a couple days and that's it, okay? If they aren't improving, that suggests that you have not got proper control, inflammatory control up in the central nervous system, and you might actually worsen their condition and not be able to get them to recover yet. So I think it's prudent to wait 2, 4, 6 months as you're on the protocol until you're like, okay, he or she is improving now. Now we can go ahead and vaccinate, okay? And the other thing is there's no need to stop or change the protocol or anything while you're doing this. So I know it's a little technical, but this is a critical, fundamental aspect of the Nemechek protocol for both adults and children, and for just neurological recovery in general. Other than that, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for some more videos. Take care now. Bye.